if we can see success against these two teams. They're very good teams. Obviously, it would give us confidence, even more confidence going into the tournament. So don't really want to think ahead that way. I think we're very confident that we've improved a lot, but to be able to have the results would mean a lot.
Welcome back to the Blue Line. You heard Coach Guy Godowski. Penn State's preparing for the final 2 home series of the season, but right now we'll take a look back at the top plays from the Minnesota series, starting with the Aaron's Amazing Save of the Week.
Game 1, Hudson Fashion behind the net, trying the wraparound, but Scoff says no, and here is Matt Shepard's call.
Still no whistle. Wraparound, try twice, 3 times. Oh, and what a job down low by Penn State's defense. Mark Yanis saved the goal there.
Great work by Scoff and the D. Yanis, Goodwin, Bailey, Cowdice, and Holstrom all doing heavy work. Great effort to keep the score tied at that point.
And the Cove crunch of the week, we hate to show ones against Penn State, but take a look at this crunch. Gabe Gertler just gets Michael McDonough in the open ice and levels him. Clean hit, hands down, leading with the shoulder, and McDonough's tough. He was okay, but really hard to watch that blast. That's going to leave him sore for the next day. And actually, in Game 2, Kenny Brooks also had a good hit that you really liked.
Oh yeah, I loved it. It was a great hit. He's really brought the lumber since making that switch back to the defenseman. And he showed in Game 2 that, you know what, they weren't intimidated after what happened Friday night.
From there, we move on to the rest of the Big Ten. We take a look at the scoreboard from the Big Ten from the previous weekend. Wisconsin was off, and Penn State, dropped the series at Minnesota. Michigan State playing an exhibition, so Michigan and Ohio State, the only teams battling in conference. The Buckeyes took a shootout win on the road in Ann Arbor to start things off, but the Wolverines came back to win 4-3 in Game 2 down in Columbus.
That puts the standings like this. Minnesota creating some space at the top from Wisconsin with the wins. Michigan coming in 3rd. Ohio State 3 points ahead of Michigan State for the 4th. And Penn State locked into that 6th seed right now.
Conference tourney coming up quick. Looking at this week, newly number 1 Minnesota goes to Ohio State. Michigan and Michigan State playing a home and away series on Friday and Saturday. And Wisconsin coming to Pagula. And for fans lucky enough to get tickets for Pagula this season, you might be wondering what the glass room on the concourse level is, and for that, we took a special look at the Mount Nittany Room in this week's Pagula Spotlight. Nestled in the University Drive corner of Pagula Ice Arena's concourse is the Mount Nittany Room, an area designed for lodge and on-the-glass seat holders before the game. The room serves as a place to relax with refreshments and snacks before games and during intermissions. The room also serves as a post-practice lunch stop for the team to replenish. And maybe the best feature of the space comes from the large windows and great view of the mountain in the distance from which the room gets its name. A look at the Nittany Health South Injury Board. Good news for Nate Jensen. He's skated this week, but still needs to be cleared, and it will be questionable for the weekend. Luke Uhas still out with his head injury, and Max Gardner still off the ice with his ankle injury. So it's been a long time since Penn State and Wisconsin played. A lot of things have changed. What do you see as the key coming in this series this weekend?
Well, I think the Lions have to have a short memory. They got to wipe that Friday night game out of their minds. They got to forget about Saturday out at Mariucci, losing that heartbreaker, in the 1-goal game. Defensively, tighten up, watch Michael Mersch. I know that's tough with the injuries they have, but they just got to focus. They'll be fine.
We'll see what Penn State can do. They take on Wisconsin Friday night at 7 and then again on Saturday at 7 o'clock. We'll have recaps of both those games next week, but that's all for the Blue Line this week. For Andrew Callista, Mike Tressa, we'll see you guys next week.